One win away from an Indiana Hoosiers national championship. What a time to be alive. On the biggest stages in program history, IU wide receiver Elijah Sarratt has continued to show why he was given the nickname Waffle House, always being open for his quarterback regardless of the situation. The blowout win over Oregon might have been his best game of the year, catching 7 passes for 75 yards and a pair of touchdowns in the Peach Bowl victory. Despite the Hoosiers having a million mouths to feed on offense, Sarratt has still managed to rack up 62 catches for 802 yards and an FBS leading 15 touchdowns, the most in college football. That's incredible considering where this man's career started. A 0-star recruit out of high school, Sarratt had 0 FBS offers and was spending his time reaching out to JUCO programs with the hope of continuing his football career. Once he finally got an opportunity with the FCS program St. Francis, he took advantage, earning freshman All-American honors before catching the eye of Curt Cignetti at James Madison. Sarratt got his FBS opportunity with the Dukes in 2023, earning first-team conference honors with nearly 1,200 receiving yards. Once Cignetti left for Bloomington, he brought along a number of his star players from James Madison, including Sarratt, whose football career has now blossomed from a 0-star high school recruit to a potential top 50 pick in the NFL Draft. At 6'2" and 209 pounds, Sarratt isn't one of these quick twitch or explosive wide receiver prospects, but what he does bring to the field will absolutely translate to the NFL level. Sarratt is a nuanced route runner with excellent body control and strong hands in contested catch situations, on top of being a versatile inside-out option with the strength and willingness to be an effective blocker in the run game. Almost everything about the way that Sarratt plays football reminds me so much of 6-time Pro Bowler Keenan Allen. Like Sarratt, Allen was one of these prospects out of Cal with really good size, excellent body control, and ability to create separation, particularly on his release. A knee injury caused Allen to slide down to the 3rd round, and he wasn't a true burner at the college level, but his skill set and alignment versatility has led to a tremendously productive NFL career. That's the kind of career arc I'm imagining for Sarratt, so let's break down his film from the Oregon win to show you just how special he is in today's Shades of edition of Best Available. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. Make sure that you are subscribed on YouTube if you're not already, and can follow us on socials at BestAvailableYT. Also consider becoming a member to support the channel if you've been an active viewer of these videos. I'll leave details to that in the episode description. You'll get plenty of off-season perks that are coming in the coming weeks, including an exciting announcement that I'm happy to share with you guys. But Best Available is going on the road in a couple weeks. We will be in Dallas for the Shrine Bowl. A huge thank you to everyone that works at Shrine for setting that up. I cannot wait to get down there and share some, hopefully exclusive footage with you guys and some one-on-one interviews with these prospects. But let's go ahead and dive into Sarratt. So much to dive into with Sarratt, and before we even begin anything, this probably wasn't his best blocking game. I only found one play, but if you watch the channel, I might be addicted to, wide receivers who can effectively run block. And Sarratt certainly had a few of those games this year. Just was not asked to do a whole lot. And I don't blame him because IU's whole game plan was just attacking the secondary the whole game. And obviously they succeeded, quite dramatically. We got Sarratt here on this play. And what we're going to run is kind of a smash concept. So we're going to run a little bit of hook to hold this corner. And then we're going to run a fade. Sometimes it can be a corner, but we're going to run a fade here. So just a slot fade. And then we're just going to put that ball right on the money. Fernando Mendoza is going to be the #1 overall pick to the Raiders for a reason. And this is just a great play. We're going to see it. Not a ton of separation here from Sarratt off the release. He gets off quickly. He's really hauling ass. This corner or defender's doing a nice job of just sticking with him. But we're going to try and throw it into space over here, which is just a great job by Sarratt as he feels that to adjust. I know it's blurry. I'll show you a different angle of this shortly, but he's going to adjust by flipping his hips and boxing out and using that sideline as leverage. So he's going to do that, and then he's just going to haul it in. A strong hand stay extended, and then as that other defender comes in to pop him out of bounds, he hauls it back in. Again, understand this is blurry. I'll show it one more time, but then we'll get to the broadcast angle to show you the actual catch. But I think you also notice he does a nice job of quickly getting off of this snap. I mean, he's already in movement as that ball's being moved. That ball's not even out of the center's hands as he's moving. That kind of quickness can definitely help you off your release. And then, just adjusting to the ball, making a catch. Let's go ahead and move to the other angle so you can get a clear view of that catch. Yeah, I usually don't use broadcast footage for these, but I just think in a situation like this where we really want to understand the nuances. So you can see this get a little extended, but not push off, but kind of use that to create a little natural separation. Flip those hips, get boxed out. So now you can see this defender's kind of dragging him, but he is getting his hips and his shoulders in front of this DB. He's getting grabbed a little, yes, but then he concentrates through it. Tries to catch with his hands. Then you notice the DB's hands are right here, trying to, get to that football. So as Sarratt feels that, he does a nice job of saying, hey, I'm going to keep that football for now away from this defender's hands so he can't break it up. And then the second he feels Dylan Thieneman right here come into play, he's going to try and haul in and secure that.
Through the contact.
All of that body control in one fluid motion.
And the precision and strength
box out,
of Sarratt
separate away to prevent the PBU, and then haul it back in as the safety.
Through the contact of the
tremendous work. And not creating much separation, but it's that nuance once the ball's in the air.
On a perfectly timed back.
So damn impressive.
Back shoulder.
It's what makes him such a special, unique wide receiver. Not everything about being a good receiver is just getting the football, and this is a great example of it from Sarratt at the top of the screen. We're just going to run a little rub route concept, and I just think he does a great job of this. So we're going to get out into the flat with Nowakowski, the tight end, and it clearly looks like this linebacker is going to be covering him. So what Sarratt does to create that separation, he's just going to push through, get an inside release on this corner, and just kind of push through both defenders. It's a rub route, and he does it without making any contact. But man, he's not clearly trying to make any forcible contact, but he forces that linebacker to slow down, to avoid, making contact with him, which is exactly what we want on a concept like this. This is just an outstanding job against Sarratt right here of, basically blocking two defenders with his route on 3rd and 4 to open up that speed out from Nowakowski for a successful play. Like, that is clutch. That is being a good teammate. No one's asking him to do this every play. As a star receiver, guys, might not care about another teammate getting the ball, but you can tell Sarratt's got a nice release on this, and then he's barreling down, and he's just trying to split those defenders. That is a great teammate to set up the open tight end and move the chains. I can't wait to see how whatever offensive coordinator Sarratt goes to at the NFL level, I can't wait to see how they use him in the run game, because he is an effective blocker. And this was the one good example I got of Sarratt blocking this game that I really liked outside of just high effort plays. And we're just going to have a couple pullers coming out into space, and then he's just going to crack down on a linebacker. I typically call it a push crack from how I was taught back in the day. This one might not be a total push crack, but you want to almost sell a slant to bring the corner with you, and then you're climbing for a safety. So in theory, if you're selling that hard enough, you're getting this guy displaced, and then you're getting this guy blocked up, and you're creating, a space advantage. So you can see here come the two pullers as blockers. Sarratt's getting an inside release, and he's going right here to seal off this defender. And all he's doing, wide base, staying low. He's lower than the defender. And on a play like this, when you have pullers, all you're trying to do is just seal this off so that if these guys can create blocks right here, we're going to have some kind of seal right here for the running back. So I like that Sarratt holds that block for as long as he does. I think that's awfully impressive. I just like the utilization of him to, climb up to the safety, seal him off, and then we have, a successful run play. So just one more time with Sarratt, bottom of the screen. Just going to go crack, climb up to the safety, wide base. Yeah, he's not driving and pancaking the defender, but that doesn't mean it's not a successful block. He's doing exactly what he needs to there. I could watch Sarratt, bottom of the screen, run routes all day. I just think he is so disciplined with it. He understands, especially on late developing routes, everything needs to be sold vertically. You don't want to give away anything with your eyes or shoulder pads, and you want to adjust late to passes when they're in the air. So this is just going to be an outside release go. He's going to go that, get the defender to commit, and we're throwing that dot back shoulder just because we feel so comfortable with that. The connection between Fernando Mendoza and Sarratt this year has been insane. 15 touchdowns is the most in college football, so it shouldn't be a huge surprise. But we're going that outside release, but the back shoulder timing is so hard unless you have that connection with the quarterback. So what I love here, he's got the outside release. You can see this corner violently reacting all right, I got to start, carrying him up the sideline. He's so worried about that. And he's so worried about where Sarratt is. The ball is right here right now. Sarratt is still running this go. What I love, he's not reacting until the ball, he's finally reacting to the ball. It's right here. That late reaction, the later he reacts, when a corner's in bail trail technique, and their turn, they're just so focused on what the wide receiver is doing at that point, especially when you're getting beat. You can only react to what you're seeing the wide receiver react to. So when Sarratt's waiting to react to the ball until it's right here, this corner has no chance, and it's just a great adjustment to the ball by Sarratt. So in one fluid motion, reacts so late to that ball, and then just come away with such a nice catch. Like, back shoulder stuff is so damn hard. It requires the right receiver and the right quarterback and that chemistry. And man, I just think Sarratt does such an excellent job here of reacting late to give him that cushion on it. If I'm being picky, this play bothered me a little bit, in real time during the national championship. But for the sake of NFL evaluation, it's really not going to matter. This is near the end of the half. I don't believe the Hoosiers have any more timeouts left, or if they do, it's just not a ton of time in this situation. And we've got this 3-wide look. We've got clear man coverage looks on here. And we're just going to run some kind of, another rub concept. Nowakowski is going to, help Sarratt get payback. We're just going to run quick outs and create some kind of, jumble here. Just create traffic, and then we're going to sneak Sarratt in, and he's just going to get a quick little catch. So what I love here from Sarratt is off his release, he's not wasting any time. This is going to be a quick now throw. We just need this as quick as possible. He's going to plant off his outside foot and just explode toward the football right there. You can see just a quick split release. He's going to, take a step, split, get wide, plant, and explode off of that foot. We've got the rubs. We're creating just confusion. Guys are getting caught flat-footed. And by the time this guy reacts, the position he's in, he has outside leverage to this ball. And Sarratt, this is a heads-up play. Again, with the NFL, I won't care because he won't be down by contact. It was a touchdown. Just want to make sure that's clear. But in college rules versus NFL rules, being down by contact, just different, thresholds. But I just love, planting off the foot to explode off of that right there. And then just the heads up play to know, like, if I just try to run through this, I'm going to get my head taken off by this guy. And instead, he's just, getting low, diving, protecting himself while still scoring. I just think that's a nice release off of the ball, and then a nice heads up play after to, preserve yourself for not only this game, but the national championship on Monday. Felt like Sarratt was really cooking in the kitchen later in this game. We're going to have here a cat blitz. When I say cat blitz corner, he's reading. He's going to just I don't love the cat blitz from that far away, but hey, that's what they're doing. So what that means is this safety is now stressed on Sarratt, right? Like, this is now the new defender watching Sarratt. So Sarratt feels that. Watch him just put his head down. Again, every route should be sold vertically until it's not vertical. And so Sarratt's doing a nice job of that. He's putting pressure on that. You can see his head's down. He's really going for it. And he's waiting to watch how this safety reacts. And what I love, the second right there, you see how his hips flip to go into bail, like, oh no, he's going deep. Like, as soon as he feels that safety has flipped his hips fully to start playing for that vertical route, Sarratt breaks down, nice gear down right here, and then cuts outside. And by that time that he's now open here, this safety's had to reflip his hips to trigger downhill, right? And that's creating this separation, which is in any level of football, that's enough for me. And then by that time, Mendoza, again, number 1 overall pick, throws with good anticipation, knows with that cat blitz how much cushion Sarratt's going to be able to make for himself. But if you watch this in all one fluid motion, watch him sell this route vertically and pay attention to as soon as this safety's hips flip and how, we're able to create that separation. Again, he's here, flips the hips, no chance. As soon as you flip those hips, you have to re-flip them to regain your momentum downhill. It's just such a nuanced move, pushing vertically. I love the play. I think this is the kind of nuance as a route runner that Sarratt brings. It's going to make him, a highly coveted wide receiver for a team. Not every play is going to be perfect. Things are going to go wrong at times, and this is a good example of that. Sarratt, once again, at the bottom of the screen. We're just going to run a little mesh concept here. And what he's going to notice very quickly is that Mendoza's in trouble and starting to roll out. So as soon as he feels that, when I see a mesh like this, it almost feels like he's supposed to sit down against zone in the soft spot between the two linebackers. But the second he feels Mendoza rolling out like this, He understands scramble rules. I need to actually start carrying my route further. So he's, instead of getting in front of the linebacker and showing him what he's doing and having the linebacker follow him, he's going to quickly get behind and just try and create that separation to the sideline, which is a smart heads-up play because the linebacker can't watch the quarterback and the wide receiver at the same time. He can only just feel that out. So leaves this guy confused on an island, hesitant of what he should do. And by the time he realizes what's happening, Sarratt has broken down all the way to the sideline. Again, just like that's good chemistry, heads-up play, being smart, all of that. So we're going to show it again in full for you, but just again, this is supposed to be like a mesh or a sit route between linebackers, and he feels it. He starts sitting right there, turns his head. If this is man or something like this, and this is man coverage, and he's following someone else, you go. And if it's zone, you sit. But scramble rules apply very quickly, and he rolls out. So then he gets behind that linebacker to the sideline. It's chemistry, it's football IQ, it's all of that. It's a very smart play. It's one of those examples of something that just shows up constantly with Sarratt. He just feels like he's always aware of the situation and what he needs to do. The Hoosiers were just dominating at this point, and we're still going to get Sarratt another tutty. We got this little stack release here, Sarratt and Nowakowski, and it's just a nice concept. We're going to, carry this defender up with an outside release, create another potential rub route here. We're going to get an inside release here with Sarratt, who's going to be one-on-one with this defender. And just watch how Sarratt uses his eyes and shoulders to create the separation. You run straight at him. Don't let him know where you're going. He's caught flat-footed because Sarratt, especially with his route running ability, can either go inside, he can break back out. But what he does instead of those two things, he's just going to go over and around. So he cuts up field. He's keeping those eyes straight down. And so the defender's reacting to that. And then he's turning to cut back inside. And at that point, Thieneman, who is going to be an NFL player in his own right, just has no chance against this. So we'll watch it again. It's just a nice route, head, eye manipulation, smooth release, quick cuts, this is advanced stuff for a college wide receiver. And at his body type, it does kind of shock me he doesn't get talked about more. Not in the first tier of wide receivers, because I think a lot of those guys are just mutant aliens. But if he got drafted in the first round, I'd not be surprised because of how pro-ready he is. I think I love this play more than I love the touchdown. And it's a block without being a block. Call them runoff routes, where you're just trying to really sell a route in the run play to get the corner so focused on you, and he doesn't even realize it's a run play. And this is a great example of that. Watch these two as we are running the football. So motion inside with Nowakowski. We still feel that it's a man coverage look because, you can't really run runoffs against zone because the eyes of the corner aren't going to be on you. They're going to be on the backfield, and they can just leave you and, go fill in the run without you blocking. So because of that motion and this guy following, we feel that man coverage look. And so Sarratt here is just going to take this take this corner on a little ride. Just pretend like he's going on the fade. By the time the running back realizes what's happening and has turned his eyes like, oh, snap, it is a run play. Kalen Black has broken out and is breaking away. And then Sarratt feels that and starts blocking a little bit. And by that time, that guy's never going to recover. It's way too late to start accelerating. Black's off to the races. I think if the runoff route doesn't happen here, and he doesn't sell it well enough or anything, and the corner turns his eyes sooner, this might not be a touchdown. It's just sometimes these are the little subtle things you have to do as a wide receiver to, catch the eyes of a corner and help, because you never know when something's going to get sprung loose. I know I'm biased as a Hoosier grad, but I've been screaming about Waffle House for 2 years now. I just think he's got an NFL frame. He's a nuanced route runner. He's a willing run blocker. He's got great, contested catchability. There's so much to his game that I really think he's going to be a successful pro. Honestly, maybe right away. Cannot wait to see where he goes in the NFL. Let me know in the comments, did you like the comp to Keenan Allen? Where do you want to see him go in the NFL? And if you made it this far and you did not subscribe, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But thank you so much for watching. We'll be back on Friday, bringing back the rebuild series. We got a lot of positive feedback on that with the Raiders video. So we'll be back with my Packers on Friday. I think I need it more than you guys might need it. So thank you for watching. We will see you on Friday.